Today, some Republicans, Tom Cole, for instance, were defending John Boehner after what many call a fumbled strategy in the latest showdown with the White House. But only 84 Republicans joined the Speaker, a total of 85, in voting for the deal last night. Veteran Georgia Congressman Jack Kingston voted against it and joins me now. Congressman, thanks very much. Happy New Year to you. Why did you vote no?
Well, my concern is that this was always a two-step discussion. One was on revenues and the other one was on deficit reduction. And in the 11th hour, we dropped the deficit reduction and we punted that for 2 more months and been around here for a while. And I don't believe anything's going to change in a 2-month period of time in terms of Washington's spending culture. We just do not have the appetite for spending cuts. And yet I thought this was a great opportunity to address them. The House made 3 attempts starting in May to have the Senate work on some legislation. They did not react to our legislation, as you know, until New Year's Eve, and we had it at 2 a.m. when they passed it, and the deficit portion was out of it. I think on the taxes, I would agree with Tom Cole. I think the package was probably a good compromise. It was right where it should have been, right where the market has driven it, you might say, the political market. But deficit reduction was void in the final package, and that was so important, and it's extremely important for America right now.
Wouldn't John Boehner have been better to go along with the deal that the president first suggested, which included the alteration in the inflation, the cost of living adjustment on Social Security?
I'm not certain, and I'm not certain that that was a real proposal. The president has had a lot of lofty speeches about what he's willing to do, but I know that as the Speaker has come out of bargaining rooms with him, that's not what the reality has been. And so I think if the president really ever did put Simpson-Bowles, his own deficit reduction commission report, if he put that on the table, I think we would move on it, because that's a dollar in revenue for $3 in cuts, and that would be a much better deal than what we passed last night. So, you know, if the president is serious, and he will put a package on the table, not just talk about it, but actually draft the legislation and hand it to one of his floor leaders, I think then we would move on it.
And is John Boehner a lock to be the Speaker after the vote tomorrow?
Yes, and I think another thing Tom Cole made a really good comment on is that the Speaker handled it well. We got a bill from the Senate 2 in the morning. We had a 2.5-hour discussion about it, open mic, a very, very good open discussion from all philosophies of our conference. We met again a couple of hours later, and we reached the conclusion that if we were unable to amend this bill, then it was best to pass it because of market considerations in the economy in general. But we all know that in 2 months we're going to have this same drama unfold again, and it won't be any different than the place we were in August 2011 when we created this whole sequestration system to begin with. So to me, it's very frustrating that at some point someone besides conservatives in the House are going to have to say, you know what, we've got to get our fiscal situation in order. For right now, every dollar we spend, 42 cents is borrowed. The national debt is 100% of the GDP. And I don't care if you're a liberal Democrat or conservative Republican or non-political, that should concern you. And I know that it does, but right now it's just easy to say, yeah, but we'll get to it later.
Thanks so much, Congressman. Thanks for joining us.